What's up, guys? All right, so I just wanted to do a quick final update for this week for gold. I know I haven't been doing any videos that much because I've still been on holiday, but just wanted to quickly touch on a few things, particularly the minutes that came out from the Fed, right? Which I think is it was interesting, like how the market kind of ran with what the Fed was talking about how they wanted to actually raise interest rates, or they were like looking into it. And of course, this came before the really weak jobs data, so you have to take that all into consideration. But I just find it interesting to see how the market has kind of reacted to what the Fed said and kind of how it's been changing sentiment, right? I mean, as you can see in these types of articles that are being written in all the various media. Um, yeah, and the way that the stock kind of have generally not been doing that well. There's you can sense that there's, yes, stocks are still at an all-time high. Don't get me wrong, but you can sense that there's slowly starting to be some fear in the market. Also, there was the crypto crash, right? That flash crash, and now obviously, crypto markets. If we take a quick look here, they've they've kind of bounced back, but I mean, at the moment, it still just kind of looks like a dead cat bounce, right? And um, this just kind of is showcasing a little bit of fear. And I'm not saying that this crypto crash happened because of the Fed saying that they're interested in increasing interest rates, but it just shows just kind of overall that sentiments are starting to change a little bit. And you know do I really think that the Fed is going to increase interest rates sooner rather than later? I actually don't. I think that people are taking it a little too seriously. I think there's still going to be this narrative of like, oh, they should, as everything starts recovering. But I don't think that's going to happen that soon. I think they also made that pretty clear. So I'm kind of surprised at how people are taking it. But fact of the matter is that ultimately, if the if there's this kind of fear building in the market, fear building in the economy, everything is so overpriced, not just stocks, but obviously crypto was incredibly overpriced in certain commodities like lumber, blah, blah, blah. And there's just a lot of crazy speculation going on in the market right now. Ultimately, what typically happens, right, more than anything, it's not just that there's a correlation between inflation and gold, but there's also definitely a correlation between fear and gold prices. When there's fear in the market, gold tends to go up. And I mean, so consequently, I mean, every day now that I'm looking at the market over the past few weeks to the past month or so, I just get more and more confident in the fact that gold is a good investment or a good buy right now. It's good to go long on gold right now because um, you can just tell that there's a lot of mixed sentiment there, and people are getting a little concerned, and gold is a very good way to just hedge against everything. Now, one thing I do want to discuss is that, okay, let's say that the Fed actually does choose to increase interest rates, which would obviously then therefore increase like the treasury yields. In that case, yes, of course, that's negative for the gold price, but even if that caused quite a bit of a dump in the short term in terms of gold price, I still believe that with the larger narrative of the money printing and just the overall fear, and if we do see like a much more um, serious pullback in stock prices sometime soon, and if crypto continues to go down, and if this and that, there's all this different fear that's being brought up in the market. Ultimately, I still think that gold will then recover and still kind of continue to progress. I don't see it just, like an increase in interest rates completely reversing the price of gold, even though gold now is getting to a point where, yes, it's getting closer and closer to its all-time high. So we do have to be aware, but I'm still pretty bullish on gold, at least for the next couple of months. I mean, that's not changing anytime soon, and I don't think that the Fed are going to start, increasing interest rates or start tapering asset purchases in the next few months. So, still definitely long on gold, guys. If we just, not much really to say. I just kind of wanted to talk about that. I mean, in terms of price, again, buy the dips, but We've still continued to really see this higher low progression here, at least on the 15-minute chart. On the day chart, we're progressing pretty nicely, and the reality is that there's not much previous price history getting towards this 1900 level, and there's not a lot of resistance. So I definitely see us hitting this 1900 level soon, and we're probably going to break it, and we're probably going to play around in that space for sure. Once we do, obviously I'll give my thoughts on how I will then start playing my positions, but at the moment I'm still long. Last thing I'll touch on, if we hit this 1900 point here, would I actually consider closing any of my positions maybe slightly before, like 1895 or something like that? Right now I have 3 long positions open that I opened all between like from 1860 and down. My lowest one's at 1825 at the moment. I would definitely probably close at least one of them or take profit on one of them because I just feel like that's good practice. Like I kind of like that profit taking strategy. It always makes sure that I'm kind of winning, and maybe I'm not winning to the fullest, but I'm always making kind of like steady gains. And that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm sure there will be a rejection at 1900, if not a few rejections. So I'm going to definitely continue to buy those rejection dips. And then at the same time, every time I get the chance to open like 2 positions with a rejection, then close one of them, I'll probably implement some sort of take profit policy like that. So anyway, guys, that's all I got to say. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll definitely try and do a crypto video soon. I keep on saying that, but I just prefer talking about gold. But obviously the crypto market's really interesting right now. And I know people are fearful, so I'd like to also talk about like how I personally try and buy, like if we're actually going into more of a bearish few months or whatever, or even next 10 months or whatever, how I would personally try and play that bearish market. I'm definitely a hodler, so I'll kind of give you my hodl strategy there. Anyway, take it easy, guys.